Luis was taken to court by his ex, Vanessa Reiser. Vanessa was at my live show and I did, I think, my last one of the live shows. So, that's his ex. She took him to court. She asked for and I am paraphrasing everybody. So please Google the facts for yourself. If you want specifics, I'm glossing over the top. This is the gist of what happened for everyone who doesn't know. She took him to court. She said, I need a restraining order. She said that he basically was, a restraining order is to protect you. She said basically that he had hired spies, and I'm sure there were other things in this restraining order, that he had hired a spies or a spy to go into her business. She's a narcissist abuse survivor therapist. You're welcome, Vanessa. That's your business. Anyone that has been, and I know she's spoken to Lala before and Meghan King, anyone that's been in a relationship with a narcissist. Trust me, I've had some narcissists in my life, but everyone who's been in a relationship with a narcissist who, wants counseling, that's what Vanessa does. So Vanessa's claiming that she was claiming that Luis hired a spy to go into her office and pose to be a patient and then ask her questions like, tell me about your ex. How did you break away from your ex? Some of the questions that were in this article from Reality Blurb. We love Reality Blurb. Shout out to Monty. Monty runs this podcast all the time. Shout out to her. She's very good to us. She covers her stuff. According to Reality Blurb, that Vanessa claimed that this person posing as a patient said things like, well, if Luis were to leave Teresa, would you want him back? Would you go back to Luis? So those are some, interesting questions. So she's claiming that Luis hired a spy, sent it into her place of business. My good friend, Bo Dietl, yes, I'm using his name. Bo is a great guy. There's rumors that he was involved in this. He says no. All of this is just such a mess. I mean, can't we put season 13 in the past? But so this finally had its day in court. She was looking for a restraining order against Luis. And the court ruled in Luis's favor. So not only did the court dismiss Vanessa's request and her attorney's request for the restraining order, they basically said, quote unquote, and these are the words Reality Blurb is using, that she's obsessed with Luis. They used some other, now James Leonard, who is Teresa's attorney, obviously works with Luis, says they won, says we won, they lost, period. That's the end of it. I know Vanessa's attorney has had some things to say. And, look, the thing about lawsuits is just because you lose one battle doesn't mean you win. Doesn't mean you lost the war. We can keep going. My advice as a lawyer after this is you got the thing about lawsuits. I've said this before. The 2 times I've sued someone in my life, I've won both times because I knew I had a case. We all can get pissed off. We all can get mad. We all could have our feelings hurt, but you don't sue someone for that. To me, there's only one reason to sue someone, and that's if you're actually going to win and you're actually going to get money. Doesn't matter if the person has money. Doesn't matter if the corporation is, making billions of dollars. Are you going to get money? And if you're not, nobody wins in a lawsuit except the lawyer. So if I were to give Vanessa legal advice, my legal advice would be, it's okay. It doesn't matter who won or lost. Just you don't have to hold your head down, pick your head up high. This chapter of your life is over and move on. That's would be my legal advice. I don't practice law anymore, so what the hell do I know? So James Leonard says, we won, they lost, period. That's the end of it. Now, the court not only denied Vanessa's restraining order, but, through James said, there's quotes. I believe this is exactly what the court said. James is saying this too. This is in Reality Blurb. He's saying the court said that she is someone who routinely and repeatedly violated court orders, and that she has an insatiable obsession with Mr. Ruelas and Teresa, and it's fueled by a desire to promote herself, her business, and her false narrative, and a false narrative at any cost. Pretty harsh words from the court. So the court is basically ruling in Luis's favor and saying, not only are we not granting you this order of protection, it's actually the opposite. It seems like you're a little obsessed with these two. Tree huggers everywhere have been slipping into my DMs literally every hour on the hour. We did not talk about this last week. It happened right after our show. So that's that. I mean, Teresa posted something on her Instagram, just basically saying, you know, like celebration or vindicated. I don't even know what it is because I don't cyberstalk Teresa's Instagram. I believe, I don't know if he was, but I think they were going to have Louis on her podcast. Look, the thing about, you know, when you're in the public eye, people could say anything they want about you, doesn't make it true. So I think, you know, Louis and Teresa obviously feel a vindication from this. It seems like it's been going on forever, and who knows where this is. But to me, this particular battle, yeah, this is a win for Louis and this is a win for Teresa. I don't know how else you can spin it. I would just move on and get over it. That's my advice. I'm not in it. Harboring all that resentment and just, oh man. But again, what do I know? So there you go. I understand why tree huggers are rejoicing. I would understand why Teresa and Louis are doing a round, a lap. I wonder, you know, my mind just goes back to Melissa versus Teresa. So like, how deep-seated in the evil hate do Teresa and Louis have for Joe and Melissa and vice versa? Because look, nobody wins when you carry that around, right? The way you win at life, if anyone wants life advice, because you know I love to go, people say they love my tangents, is when they go low, let them go low. You don't even give it a minute of thought. You don't disengage. One of the smartest housewives ever, Miss Meredith Marks, disengage. That's how you win. You cannot control what people do. You cannot control what people say. And there's no sense in going back and forth. You just move on. So I wonder, it's a tangent for, I wonder if like a Joe and Melissa see something like this and are secretly upset. You know, there's all these rumors out there that Margaret was working with Vanessa and blah, blah. I mean, they know each other. I personally doubt Margaret was working with Vanessa. That's just my opinion. But like, you know, is Margaret rejoicing? Is, you know, Melissa, just move on. I wonder. But that question kept coming up in my DMs and I'm like, it's a good question. I wonder. It really doesn't affect any of the people. So that's that. There we are. Is everyone having a good BravoCon weekend? We are going to, I mean, there's so much. We're going to have to do a whole show on BravoCon. So I'm going to call it right now. I don't think we're getting to BravoCon today. I'm looking at the time. We have an interview with Penny Karagiorgis. Okay. You've all wanted me to get her on the show. I got her on the show. Mini chat. We're going to share that soon. But we're not going to get to BravoCon. Okay. Saturday. BravoCon is still happening, guys. Taking notes. We're going to cover it. You want me to cover it, just David, or you want me to cover it with the one and only Miss Sarah Fraser or Melissa Rivers? Okay. Let's move on. You know what we need to talk about? As speaking of BravoCon, we need to talk about Joey Gorga and his fake comedy show. Wow, this one is interesting. This one is going to be a little bit interesting, guys.